I, like so many other people, have been trying to find the perfect monitor mounting solution. So tell me if this sounds familiar. I don't want to put it up here because if I'm putting this on my shoulder, I can't see up that high. I don't want to put it here because then that takes away my handle. So I want it like a traditional EVF way up in front. I want to be able to have this articulation. I want to be able to move the monitor with one hand without undoing any tension knobs. If the client wants to see, boom, take a look at it. And I can even slide it along this axis. The key item here is that little red NATO. It's from Wood & Camera. It's $250, and all it does is go like this. Now, with all the monitor mounts out there from Small Rig, Nitsy, Nicey Rig, there's so many. Why would I spend so much on this? Because after a year of use, this is the only one I've used that has retained its fluid tension. Now, the problem is I want to be able to take this rig and drop it directly into my bag. And at its current configuration, it cannot do that. However, it's not difficult. So all I have to do is loosen this, slide this off, and then I put this little bracket here so that I can effectively just hang it. And then take this and drop it straight into the bag. And that way, when I arrive to the shoot, we are ready to go in seconds. The only way I can improve on this is if I could just take that monitor and fold it in. Now, an Instagram buddy saw my vlogs and said, I heard you were looking for the tilt, swivel, and foldability. Well, I just got this monitor mount from Condor Blue, and it does everything that you are after. He sent this to me 6 months ago, and I have waited 6 months to ask him, is everything good? Did it lose its tension? He said it's all good, and he is working day in and day out. That was all the confirmation I needed. So I am packing right now for a job in West Palm Beach tomorrow, and I will be switching out the monitor mounts and seeing how this works, because this is $250 and this was $60. It's funny, I buy this expensive cart, but it's not even applicable for this job, so I'm strictly using it to just get from my apartment to my car. There's so much more room when we use my girlfriend's car. Like, this is ridiculous. Made it to South Florida. We have a couple days of work, and I need to show you this beautiful, beautiful thing. Open the bag with one hand, take the camera out with one hand, and most importantly, open up the monitor without having to use any tools. The camera doesn't flop. I can just hold it like this and really immediately begin shooting. This is what I've been after for so long, and I just love that I have found from, you know, the community, from different people's suggestions. It was just this little $60 part. Now, will it maintain tension for me like it has for others? We will find out. Like I said, I got a couple days of work here in South Florida. I can put it right back in with one hand. This is what I've been after for so long. Okay, let's get to the actual job. So we're filming social media marketing content for a fitness company, and I'm bringing in a lot more gear than normal, more than I even have. I had to rent a lot because we're going to be putting up a green screen, and I need lighting for the talent, and then I also need lighting for the backdrop, and I'm going to be using a teleprompter. Almost everything we're doing is scripted, so I purchased this one from Small Rig, and it works great, and the client loves it because it's on the double reel system. This client likes to pull the iPad off and adjust the text and then throw it back on. That was a nightmare when it was mounted to my lens. It was pulling on the lens, so I said, I need to get this double rail system, but I didn't want all those big, bulky mid-levels on a teleprompter. This one goes straight into the double rail, and I don't have to have any other things. I can just put it on my VCT plate. So here's the monitor mount in action. The client wanted to see it, so I can flip it back to them, flip it back to me, no issues. And I realize this is a hyper fixation on meticulously picking out the right little Lego pieces, but it does make an overall difference. At least it does to me, and I'm the one using it, therefore it's beneficial. I know other people who could not care less about which accessories they have. They just throw it up and get to work. For me, my brain works differently, and I love to make sure all the gearing and mechanisms throughout the system work together seamlessly. That's why I just got this Sony UWP as well. I had some older Rode lavs and I needed to upgrade. The benefit in upgrading to this Sony system is it is cableless. There is nothing going in to my XLR ports, which is just nice to eliminate a vulnerability. So I can have my shotgun in XLR 1 and then something else in XLR 2. Now, this over-analyzation of individual parts is good and bad. It's bad in the sense that I usually hold off from making decisions for a long time. I spend way too much time going back and forth and researching, but I know that once I do purchase something, I have done all of the background research to see how it will positively and negatively affect me. And that's why I liked researching that lens in the last one. My last vlog did very, very well. And I was talking about this B4 lens and how it can be mounted onto a modern camera and all the sacrifices you have to give up. That video did really well. And coincidentally, when I posted that, the exact same day this came out from 7 Artisans, which is basically with the 1.5 extender, that 24-96 becomes a 35-150, but it's in a cinema housing. I love that brands are pushing into this area, and this is an amazing offering. Don't get me wrong, I do love the Tamron 35-150, especially because it has autofocus, and just as many jobs that I have require autofocus that don't. But more and more people or brands are pushing into this zoom all-in-one run and gun style form factor, and as a non-prime guy, I am so here for it. So you see the monitor was just flipped in, and then I can just drop it into the bag. And I got the mono lock, tripod, all of it has been thought out, right? I'm trying to eliminate 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there, and just make the operation as smooth as possible so I can just focus on the actual creative work.
This weekend it's been like 20 feet long.
That is the end of day one, transferring all of the footage right now. The Condor Blue mount worked perfectly. I mean, I would hope so. It's only day one. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm just so happy when I have a problem and I'm able to fix it by finding the right gear.
I love these behind the scenes videos that have kind of just taken off, and it's all started with a couple of YouTubers, Cranky Cameraman and David Moorfield, and then it's just kind of grown from there. And I feel like I can't get enough of all these videos.